What's going on? Single boy moms, I need y'all in the building. Or single boy dads. I need, tell you what, I need my single boy moms in here because what I have to fucking discuss is for y'all or for us, but I want some single boy fathers in here because I just want opinions, okay? Um, as a single boy mom, right? I feel that it's important for us to stick up and help one another, right? Because first and foremost, raising children is not easy. Raising a kid is not easy. And for a mother, raising a son is not easy. Okay, because it's hard for a woman to teach a boy how to be a man, right? But it can be done. It really honestly just depends on what criteria you really look at when it comes to, what's considered, what I'm saying, being a man, you know what I mean? But anyways, my son and I, let me back up a little bit. My son and I have a great fucking relationship, okay? I am my son's friend. While he does understand that I am his mother first, and he does not mistake that, okay? He knows that he can confide in me when he needs to talk about anything because I've made a big deal out of making sure that I provide a safe space for my son to come and talk to me about anything, regardless of how he may feel, because I know and I do understand that as a young man, it is probably very difficult to talk to your mother about certain things, just like it's difficult for me as a woman to talk to my father about certain things. At least it was when I was a teenager, but as a grown woman, I can talk to my daddy about anything. But I've worked to make sure I provide that safe space for my son to come to me and open up and to be comfortable enough to share his feelings, because one thing I know for sure, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I I feel that it is very important for a young boy to be able to have a safe space to express his emotions, whether he needs to cry and yell and scream or whatever the fucking case may be. So I've done my due diligence to make sure that my son has that safe space, okay? Now, in that same token, my son is 16, he's, you know, doing his thing with, sports and all that, but, he's dating, I guess. And for a long time, that was one thing that I used to fear. Like, how am I going to act once my son starts dating, right? But it actually didn't really turn out to be as bad as I thought it was until today, right? And here's why I say that. Because the odds are already counted against him being a young black boy, right? With society. That also means that the cards are against him when it comes to relationships. And for us adults, we know, because we can see this shit as it's happening right in front of our eyes, that the young boys and the young girls that are being raised and growing up today do not have the same fucking values and morals as we did when we were being raised, okay? Young girls are growing up to be, we know what they growing up to be, we see it, you know, and our young men are growing up to be these thugs and all of this other shit, right? But anyways, I make sure that now that my son is dating, I can make myself available to give him the best relationship advice that I could provide, right? So he came to me this morning. Now, this isn't the first time he's come to me about, you know, his girlfriend and their relationship or whatever. But my son came to me distraught this morning. And if you are a single boy mom, for your son to come to you in tears, it's a big deal. Okay? Well, hell, even if your child come to you in tears, period, it's a big deal. But for a boy to cry, it's fucking big deal, right? So anyways, my son came to me this morning and told me that he thinks he may have possibly caught his girlfriend cheating. Now, you know I'm a ride for my boy, but I'm not gonna jump to conclusions. What makes you think this, son? What led you to believe that she might be cheating? Is what I asked. He told me what happened. He said that he had seen some messages in her phone because he was messing around with her phone or whatever. Some guy or whatever, and I forgot what he said the message said, but then, you know, the emojis, little heart eyes and different shit like that. Long story short, he saw the messages in her phone and he confronted her about it. He didn't yell at her. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, jump down her throat. As a young man, he was, and I'm so fucking proud of my boy. As a young man, he approached, you know, and asked her, hey, this is what I saw. What's this all about? Because this is how I feel about it. Whatever conversation they had, apparently, the way the conversation between them ended, he felt like she could possibly be lying because she went back and deleted the messages that he saw that led him to approach her about the situation in the first place. Okay? That's what really led him to think that she was cheating, because after he confronted her, she deleted them. Right? So they went, this has been a couple days going before today or whatever, right? But he was distraught when he told me this. And, you know, I told him honestly, in the adult world, if I was in your shoes and I did what you did and I saw what you saw, I would feel the same exact fucking way you feel, and I would have approached just the way you did. You know, I dated women for 20 years, and the good Lord knew what he was doing when he gave me my son when I was in the prime of that, because I was gonna face moments like this, right? So, you know, I said, well, what do you want to do about it, son? Because he told me that she insisted that she was not cheating, it was nothing like that, or whatever. But again, because she deleted the messages after they talked about it or whatever, whoop-de-whoop, whatever, he felt some kind of way. And he asked me what I think he should do. I stood there and I thought about it for a few seconds. And before I could tell him exactly what I think would be the best thing for him to do, he told me what he was thinking about doing. And again, I'm proud of my boy, because what he said that he was going to do was exactly what I was getting ready to tell him to do. I said, son, you two have talked about it, and you still feel distraught. You're not feeling okay because you feel that her actions and going back deleting those messages after telling you, oh no, it's not like that, you feel that it's faulty. And I agree with you, because I would have felt the same thing if I was dealing with a female, you know what I'm saying, if I was dealing with somebody, right? So my son tells me, he says, Mom, I was thinking about going to talk to her mom. And before I could even say anything, I just fucking smiled, because that's exactly what the fuck I was going to tell my son to do. As a young man, you talk to your girlfriend about something you found that made you feel some kind of way. You called her out on it. Y'all had y'all talk. She said what she said, but you still feel uneasy. Because you know you can't go back to her about it because y'all already talked. Go to her mother. Sit down, because you know her mother. He goes over there. Sit down with her mother. Have a conversation. And let her mother know how you feel and why. He did that. After he did that, he called me and says, you know, Mom, I sat with her. I talked to her mom. Her mom said that she doesn't feel or believe that she would do that, but she'll talk to her. Which helped, but it didn't exactly make him feel any better, because he feels that maybe her mom might lie for her or try to cover something up, you know. Now, she could be not, you know. But long story short, I guess according to her, they broke up because she said she couldn't take it anymore, whatever. And my son has been fucking in the dumps about this shit all fucking day. That girl is such a sweet little girl, but you hurt my son. As a boy mom, you know what I'm saying? Any little girl that fucking breaks my son's heart, you automatically on my fucking bad side. I don't give a fuck if you was just in my house yesterday, all smiles. You made my son cry. You broke my son's heart, because my son really liked this girl. Really, really likes this girl. And all he did was call you out on some shit, and you broke up with him because you weren't used to being caught under shit. And that's what I told him. Because if I was in that situation going through that, and I pointed out something, and they chose to break up with me and give an excuse about not being emotional, I can't be emotionally available or whatever for your needs, or whatever the fuck he told me the fuck she said, or whatever the fuck. I felt, and this is what I told my son. I told my son, this is gonna be hard to get over, because I understand that you really like her. But know this, you did nothing wrong at all. He calls her or texts her at least once, twice a day if they don't see each other, just to see how she's doing, and checks on her. She got annoyed about that. He calling, all he wants to do is know that she's okay, because she's that person and she's done it. She's gone like a whole week without even fucking talking to him. And he didn't fucking appreciate that shit. If you're my girlfriend, we're together, you say you like me, love me, whatever, how is it okay you can go a whole week without speaking to me? And he chewed her ass out about it, and I fucking gave him a pat on the back. You goddamn right. Chew her ass out. Because you can't say you like somebody and then go without fucking talking to them. Because in an adult world, if a motherfucker really like you, they're not gonna go a day without fucking talking to you if they really fuck with you. If they really trying to be with you. They don't give a fuck whether it's a 2-minute phone call or a quick 30-second fucking text message. As long as they hear from you and know that you are safe and you are okay. And that's all the fuck he asked. And she flipped the fuck out about it. What I told my son was this. I said, you didn't do anything wrong, so don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel like you caused the breakup, because you didn't. At the end of the day, what I saw happen was a little girl who was afraid of taking accountability for the fact that she did something wrong. She may not have been talking to this other little boy like that, but she was texting another boy behind his back. And he didn't appreciate that because he has female friends that he talks to. But she did ask him to keep a distance from certain female friends. And he did that out of respect for her. Any female friend that he has, she knows about. And there's never a moment that goes by where she didn't know about any conversation he had with one of his friend girls. Okay? So he never he held no fucking secrets from this girl at all. But he felt some kind of way that she was texting another boy behind his back. Then tried to turn around and say, oh, it's not like that. Then double back and delete the text messages. If that's just a friend, how come you couldn't tell me why you gotta delete the messages? My son had every fucking right. Because I would have done the same thing. I told my son he didn't do nothing wrong. He did everything right. He just happened to be dealing with somebody who's not used to being called out on their shit. Anybody who is not used to being called out on their shit, it's easier for them to just get up and run away than to fucking look at the man in the mirror and face the fact that they fucked up. Because at the end of the day, some people truly just have a hard time saying, I'm sorry, I apologize. Some people just cannot fucking say it because they can't muster up the responsibility to take accountability for their own shit. And that's exactly what the fuck I told my son, in that exact tone, with that exact verbiage. Because I don't bite my tongue when I talk to my son. He's 16 years old, he know. But I told him he didn't do shit wrong, he did everything right. When he pressed her about not fucking talking to him for a whole week, he had every fucking right, he did it correctly. When he fucking pressed her about finding those text messages of her texting another boy behind his back, if it was just supposed to be an innocent friend, he had every fucking right and he did everything correctly. Because people are not raised, these children are not raised the way we were, shit is different. But I'll be damned as long as there's energy, as long as there is vital life and breath in this vessel, there will not be a little girl that can play with my son's motherfucking feelings. Because I also told my son, in an adult world, I also had to tell my son how to coach him in how to maintain and calm his emotions. It's okay to cry. If you have to cry and get it out, do that. Just because you're a boy don't mean you can't. It's a human emotion. It's a human reaction. I told him, I said, look, son, get your crying out, do whatever you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But once that is over, make sure that you're understanding and you know how to control and move with your emotions. Because people make bad decisions when they move. People make bad choices when they make them from a place that feels angry or a place that feels hurt versus a place that feels good and a place of love. You know what I mean? That's when people fuck up and make mistakes and do dumb shit, right? So I told my son this. I said, you get it all out. Woosah. Control your emotions, because at the end of the day, whatever happened, you cannot change. All we can do is accept it. We can grieve, feel how we feel, and once we get that feeling out, move on. But don't make any moves, don't make any decisions, don't make nothing, don't move a muscle when you're in that type of mind frame and when you're feeling bad like that. Because I told him it's not the first time, it's not the last time that's going to happen. But I can't stop people from doing you wrong. This is what I told my son. I said, I can't stop people from doing you wrong. I can't stop people from doing harm against you. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop people from playing with your emotions. But what I can do is help guide you in how to control yours so you don't do nothing fucking stupid. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to relationships and feelings, motherfuckers will get pew-pewed behind fucking feelings. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you can't be playing with nobody's fucking emotions. If you with somebody, if you like somebody, if you love somebody and you for them, then fucking be for them. If you're not gonna be for them, leave them the fuck alone, especially if they really genuinely care for you, because those are the same people that will flip the fuck out and commit crimes of passion behind their fucking feelings. So I told my son to just woosah and learn how to control his emotions after he's gone through them, because I don't ever want my son to be facing a situation to where he feel like he want to hit a bitch because the bitch played with his emotions. Because I wanted to hit a few bitches behind playing with my motherfucking emotions. A few of them. And I know that anger. And I promise you, if I'd have put my hand on any one of their asses, I'd have went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that he don't end up having to fucking feel that. So I need to make sure he knows how to control his emotions. I let him know that it's okay to feel. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to cry. But once you've done that, put on your big ones and keep going. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for you, it just wasn't for you. And it always turns out better in the end, regardless of how it ended in the end of whatever journey you're walking. The outcome is gonna end up being better in the long run. But I tell that story, like I said, my single boy moms, if y'all out there, y'all listening, if you have teenage boys, make sure that they have, even if you have, younger boys, because they're going to be teenage boys. Make sure that you provide a safe space for your son to come and talk to you. Especially, like I said, if you're a single boy mom. If dad is not around, make sure you provide a safe space for your son to come to you and talk about his feelings. Okay? Please. Because this is the problem with some of the grown men we fucking deal with today. Some of these fucking grown men didn't have the safe space to be emotional when they needed to be. Some of these grown-ass men were not taught how to move and control their emotions. Some of these grown men weren't told that it's okay to cry. But at the end of it, you cannot move, act, and react in that state of feeling. Nobody ever told some of these grown men that, so we're running around here, a lot of us have experienced them, having relationships and shit with fucking emotionally unintelligent grown ass men, because they weren't taught properly how to handle their emotions. So when they get emotional, they flip the fucking wire because they don't know how to control their own emotions. They don't know. They just weren't taught. Mom didn't provide that safe space. Dad didn't provide that safe space. Maybe dad was like, oh, you a boy, suck it up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck. So now we have these emotionally unintelligent grown fucking men running around here wreaking fucking havoc. You know what I'm saying? And doing all kind of shit to women, all because a motherfucker said no, they don't want to give you their fucking phone number. Like, I'm going down a rabbit hole of some shit, but women have been fucking beaten and killed by men, all because he had a fucking temper tantrum because the bitch said, excuse me, no, you can't have my number. All because she said no. A grown ass man had a fucking temper tantrum. And that's because that grown ass man was not provided that safe space, or they were told that it's not okay. They were told something that just was not okay and makes them flip the fucking wire. We deal with those men. Because we deal with those men as we are raising our boys, it is important for us to provide that safe space for them. Raise emotionally intelligent young men so that they don't grow up to be abusive to women every time that they don't get their way. Same thing with women. But we just on the topic of boys right now, okay? Single boy moms, provide a safe space for your sons. Create that open line of communication with your boys so that they can come and talk to you about things like this. Create that table for your son to be able to come to you and cry on your shoulder and not feel less than because of it. Create a space that helps them feel what is it I'm looking for? What is it I'm looking for? Create the space that makes them feel confident in their masculinity, even when they have to cry. Because some men think that crying is not masculine. Crying isn't masculine nor feminine. It's a fucking reaction to emotions. Everybody does it. So don't tarnish your fucking sons that way, okay? Let your sons know that it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. Let your sons know that men can feel, men can cry and still be masculine men. Okay? Make sure they know that. Because my son knows it every fucking day. There's not a moment he cannot come to me and cry. So yeah. That shit's tough though. Like, even talking to him during that, I had to maintain my emotions because as a boy mom, you don't ever want to see no girl be trying to get you don't ever want to see nobody trying to get over on your son. And you definitely don't want to see your son cry. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure that my son is emotionally intelligent. I'm gonna make sure that he knows how to move through his emotions and with his emotions properly. And I'm gonna make sure he knows how to read between the lines, and know when to stop shit before it, even though he kind of already know. But he's gonna know how to nip shit in the butt. Don't ever give a motherfucker the chance to play with your motherfucking feelings. Not even a fucking inch of a chance. And I'm gonna make sure that any little girl that decides to talk to him, they better fucking come correct. Or don't come at all. Because he's gonna know his worth. because I am who I am and what I am. He too is that. And I tell any and everybody I mess with, friend, family, or foe, be careful how you move with me. I am protected. You move wrong with me, I will not seek revenge. But karma's a bitch. Especially if you've done something against someone who's as pure intended as someone such as myself. People, I'm not even gonna say people. I've been told that I look and sound crazy when I talk of myself that way. And I don't give a fuck. I think it kind of scared his ass a little bit. And I'm glad. I really am. Because if it scared him, that means he shouldn't, he wasn't supposed to be around me. Anybody who's around me is not scared of who and what I am. But if you are, you ain't supposed to be. If you, look, sir, chill out. But anyways, I was getting ready to say something and then started getting a download for a better choice of words. For y'all call some people on me, tell me I'm talking to myself on fucking live. You want to go too? Go see. I don't know who the fuck is outside. You done? Did you get them? All right. You good? Okay. She's somewhere else. You good? With your half mustache? You alright? Alright. It's just me and the fur babies. Yes, ma'am. Quit being pushy. Being so pushy. That's my girl. Anyways. I forgot what point I was supposed to be making before her ass started fucking crashing out. Whatever. Guess it wasn't important. But I'm gonna take a nap or something. Actually, no.